My name is Angelica Gicella, and I am a humanitarian, a human earth angel acting in the best interest of humanity, kids, humans of all ages, disabled humans, all living creatures, all nature. I am a human earth angel too, a public figure. I'm a victim of serious medical negligence. I'm a human with an education in Honors Bachelor of Science, 4 years of life sciences in all fields, studied years in neurobiology studies, human nutrition, physiology, anatomy, microbiology, organic chemistry, physical chemistry, cellular biology, physics, animal physiology, virology, bacteriology, all different types of fields, medical research, was a lab research assistant, and studied Christian studies, human rights, genetics, all different types of studies that are geared toward respecting human life, health, brain, mental, physical health, human dignity, of God, of a valuable life to be respected in all ways. A human with a brain, emotion, personality, a mind, thinking abilities, memory, abilities, a soul, a life, physicality, and for all humans in the womb, then born, humans of all ages, races, genders, of all nationalities to be respected by all humans, understand by all humans in all job descriptions as they're trained to do and have to do their jobs by law and under God to respect those that they employ and work with. Most are humans that are, as I stated, humans with a brain, mind, emotions, personality, organs, a physicality, a soul, a life force, have moral, certain beliefs, religious beliefs, human rights, patient rights to be respected as needed, human free will of choice given by God to be respected by law and under God, to be treated with respect by all those, especially in medical fields, as they know. And those in this video I'm directing to the FDA, the Federal Drug Administration, and all other administrations, health boards, World Health Organization that potentially go along with them. All those not doing their part in the American government, in Canada, the Prime Minister, the different medical councils, boards under them, health and safety boards, bioethics boards, research boards, all have been employed and have mostly all humans making pay by law and under God cannot do, are judged right away in their thoughts, mind, physical actions, verbal speaking, what they write on paper, when they're not doing everything in their job description to respect human health and life and dignity, what they are trained to do, and those employing them that didn't follow up on them and or employ a proper, respectful human of human dignity, life, of human free will of choice, human rights, of bioethics laws, research laws, those who hired and or employed those that hired the individuals that run or work both at the FDA, the Federal Drug Administration, and other administrations like that in other countries with different names. Those that deal with the head pharmaceutical companies, the ones that create those illegal antipsychotics, that the FDA, I'm warning humans, and I'm speaking as well to the FDA, the Federal Drug Administration, as a victim over 20 years of serious medical negligence, and because the FDA did not do their job to make sure clozapine or clozaril, ABILITES or aripiprazole, paliperidone, risperidone, loxapine, and other dangerous antipsychotics, benzodiazepines, and ECT, termed electroconvulsive therapy. I put in therapy in quotations because this is not therapeutic to anyone. It is, in fact, especially as everyone knows, against the freedom of choice, along with all these mentioned, harmful to human health, harmful to brain, mental, and physical health in many ways. Antipsychotics, benzodiazepines, and ECT, electroconvulsive, I term torture for proper reasons, not therapy. Therapy, as many of the negligent psychiatrists that went along with this, and the councils that hired them, and the medical board members, most medical doctors in the facilities that worked in these hospitals and mental wards, illegally mistreated my life, misdiagnosed me with general terms. An intelligent human was against. They did not rather act in my best interest of assessing my physical and brain mental health properly. Knew I had a medical concern, blood clot, and had to be properly medically assessed and let go, and not misdiagnosed with schizophrenia, a general term, which I deem, to simply dumb it down, is not even a word, is misinformation currently. Psychosis, a general term, a fake word, misinformation. Mania, I was not misdiagnosed with, but is a general term, also needs to be get rid of from the world. It is not even a word. It is out of human respect of health, 100 million people, to prevent them from their brain, mental, physical health from suffering, especially those that already have a specific mental brain health disorder and physicality, to prevent them from being misdiagnosed with a general term and not have their proper mental, brain, physical health assessed. As millions of to even trillions of humans in every country, in every one of these, especially previous 100 years till now, have most people been misdiagnosed by medically negligent psychiatrists, unfortunately, and medical doctors went along with, even well known as my case in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Previous Center for Addiction and Mental Health, Emergency and Mental Health and Other Wards, and Mount Sinai Hospital in Toronto, Emergency and Mental Health Wards. Hundreds of medically negligent, mostly psychiatrists, medical doctors, and nursing staff, case workers, paid these practical nurses and others, medical staff, others in different fields, such as medical secretaries, pharmacists, went along with these misdiagnoses of a fake general term, which I did not even was affected by in any way, and put not in medical ward and released. My situation was more dangerous. I had a DVT, a deep vein thrombosis, and had to be really medically treated properly and let go. Blood thinners given and wrongly put because of negligent staff in mental health wards because they put on the file schizophrenia illegally to have a patient client and handed from one doctor to another for 20 years. I was against and suffered horrendously, and disability money is nothing, which the Ontario government, province rather, is responsible for my suffering and don't fund for medical negligence lawyers in my situation have to. And a result in human having no children, homeless, and lost 4-year degree. Could have done my own medical research and benefited 100 million people lives for over 25 years, but couldn't. And the FDA and pharmaceutical companies and others in Canada promoting these dangerous antipsychotics have to stop. I have millions of medical records to prove it. These humans have been negligent and have criminal charges against them that they have rather against my life and 100 million other patients. And others, the FDA illegally approved antipsychotics has some restrictions more in recent years, but no, past over 100 years of research, medical, credible research, can easily prove in a doctor, medical, or psychiatrist doctor in medical fields easily prove and is well known that in any antipsychotics are all chemical based chemicals harmful to the brain in many ways not beneficial to human physical health in any way, especially to human when prescribed when don't need it at all is harmful to the brain more in physical health and prescribed to someone misdiagnosed like millions in I've seen in the world in Toronto, Canada, especially in previous in CAMH, Mount Sinai Hospital, that I was a victim of an intelligent human, but others are not educated, unfortunately, and newcomers. Some humans there before I was there and misdiagnosed with these general terms, and some had serious health concerns such as depression, other brain disorders, some drug rehabilitation purposes needed their brains, proper counseling, mostly meals, nutrition advice, cognitive behavioral therapy, other cognitive therapy. This was what most of these patients needed a proper diet, proper medical staff that cared and never prescribed wrongly what the FDA wrongly approved. No, this is illegal. They know, all medical doctors know, credible ones, all psychiatrists, that is, doctors of psychiatry, know that what the FDA is doing is wrong, morally wrong, ethically wrong. for over 100 years that I've seen online information still currently have not deemed clozapine, olanzapine, ABILITES, or aripiprazole, paliperidone, risperidone, loxapine. These are the ones that I know of. Dangerous, very harmful to human brain, mental, and physical health. Require frequent blood testing to monitor the side effects. Standard blood testing, venipuncture frequent. These drastically reduced human life expectancy if taken in the long run, decrease the quality of life of humans. I've seen children illegally given these and against free will of choice are not allowed to be, and by free will misinformed by staff, psychiatrists, their case managers, working, which are nursing, most registered nurses, practical nurses, other medical staff that studied for years, swore oath to God and by law to help human health, proper mental health assessment advice to give, but did not go along and still went along with the promotion of the sales and prescription illegally most of humans against free will or misinforming humans, and some that choose to take it but not informing them properly, illegally, unethically, morally wrong, promoting the use of clozapine. Clozaril, which has a specific pharmacy associated with it, has a huge market. The money made from these sales of clozapine in itself, under Clozaril, all forms of it, liquid clozapine has its own pharmacy. This is that I know of in Toronto alone have specific pharmacies, and other places, parts in the world. And pharmacists, most negligent that I deal with, unfortunately go along with these doctors. No. All the staff, no. The secretaries working at the pharmacies, all of the other medical staff, secretaries working with the psychiatrists themselves, the other departments, physiologists, any other humans working with these negligent staff, the board members of the facilities themselves, for example, previous CAMH, Center for Addiction and Mental Health, our medical doctors too, go along with these humans and pushing these illegal, I could deemed rather illegal, harmful to brain and mental physical health in many ways, dangerous antipsychotics, benzodiazepines, most illegally given to patients against their human free will of choice, cannot be, by negligent psychiatrists, most unfortunately, I don't even know how they work, don't know English, but hired. The College of Physicians and Surgeons of Ontario hired these humans and failed after to do their job right away, to monitor these humans and hire proper staff and doctors. In my situation, over 20 years and no other ones. Over 50 medically negligent doctors, psychiatrists in those two places alone. In CAMH, emergency, and Mount Sinai, and emergency. In 20 years, and some still employed there, making their $400,000 to $1 million a year and wrongly affiliated, which I deem very dangerous because they are working with the future minds and are assistant lecturers, professors, researchers, and clinical scientists affiliated with the University of Toronto and other well-known universities and colleges, and informing, hopefully not misinforming, millions of future minds of medical doctors and doctors of psychiatry that will work with patients that are humans with rights, human dignity, a valuable life, or to respect it in all ways, that belongs to God, free will of choice, their physical, brain, mental health, they all have a human with a personality, a mind, thoughts, soul worth respecting by all humans, especially their educators, the medical staff, professors. These humans have done illegal research on humans such as myself against free will of choice and put these information into psychiatric well-known journals that are on PubMed and done illegal research on humans stating that it's real research consented to by the patients, and put misinformation in journals and misinform them and hopefully not students at the universities who are the future minds of the world and will deal with other patients potentially if hired as psychiatrists and doctors, nurses, other staff, pharmacists. These humans are, and the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Ontario, after a year and a half pushing it, stated that the investigation is over with, but still waiting results. Neglected, disrespected a human being, me, and made paychecks count. They hired negligent staff, didn't follow up on them, and disrespect a human for a year and a half to follow up, to could easily put these humans, doctors, negligent psychiatrists in prison right away and have to do, and stop to make sure that they don't harm anyone else. And they have been left, these people were working there, still I followed up, and still working there for a year and a half past they've already done for years, that these were supposed to be put in prison with serious criminal charges against my life, resulted with their medical incompetence from many of these 50 medically negligent main well-known doctors, psychiatrists, researchers, head clinical scientists in Toronto, and the nursing staff, over 100 of them, went along with them, and other staff, physiotherapists, anesthesiologists, especially an ECT clinic associated with CAMH, and then now in the temerity, whoever's running this, funding these facilities associated with CAMH is beyond wrong, morally doing. These humans are employed there, medically negligent staff, misinforming humans for years. They know, and by law under God, they cannot do. Judged, no one gets away with it under God in their actions, mind, thoughts, soul, brain, wrongly prescribing, misdiagnosing humans with general terms such as schizophrenia, psychosis, or mania, and wrongly pushing, promoting, and prescribing humans and putting them on forms, illegally forcing them to take, most of them illegally, and newcomers that don't know English and medical terminology, forcing to take CLOZAPINE, over sedating them so they have a patient to show up to once every 2 weeks to a month and say, wait until my next prescription, your next prescription rather, and I'll see you as a patient. The doctors negligent and psychiatrists mainly. The nurses go along with it, stating that we cannot, that what is not our job, is the doctor's job to prescribe you this. You have to discuss it with the doctor. And if the patient doesn't know, I was educated in a separate sentence. I, a human, pushed the issue with these humans to see the doctor to make sure the doses are low, not given to me at all to begin with, not to give me clozapine I don't need. I had a medical concern, didn't have to be there, didn't need to be on forms, wrongly admitted, misdiagnosed with a general term. Schizophrenia, psychosis, these are fake words if you think of it. They're not specific mental health disorder names. No specific part of the brain is associated with them, no specific symptoms, and needlessly myself and million people misdiagnosed and put on forms illegally there, and suffering with no food, newcomers, humans with high hopes for futures to have children, have their lives destroyed, and forced more mainly put taken one given from one antipsychotic to another, stating which one works, illegal trials done on humans, and misinform those poor humans that don't even know, over-sedated, overdosed to the point of 450 milligrams of clozapine. A man, a woman myself was overdosed. Don't need, so the purpose of over-sedating someone so they are sleeping more all night, even more than 8 hours, 10 to 12 hours, some people, harming their brain, their life rather, is mistreated in many ways, their driver's license immediately taken away that they worked hard as children, adults to accomplish and pay for, to learn to drive. Say in Canada states, a human has rights to drive when it's cold, to keep out a kid to places, worked hard to learn, study this. A child and wrongly taken away, most illegally, against freedom of choice, cannot be done by law. Most of those humans can afford medical negligence lawyers. It is the only one not funded by financial aid if someone is poor, but most our victims have to be. Disability gives no money, enough to pay for shelter for 2 nights and not for a whole month. Out of the cold and freezing snow in Canada, like myself, and left homeless after disabled and a victim because Ontario didn't do their job, and government and colleges, physicians, surgeons of Ontario didn't hire the proper medical doctors and psychiatrists and follow up on them. They made the millions. They didn't do their job to respect and hire proper staff. They didn't follow up on them, and I suffered horrendously for 20 years, and others more than 20 years, and some over 10 years at different amounts of time. Wrongly misdiagnosed with a fake term and given clozapine. Olanzapine, doctors staying trying to figure out which is best for the patient, which none of them are. They all harm the brain, are all illegally FDA approved as according to me, a human, intelligent human with a 4-year Bachelor of Science, life science degree that knows what the doctors know, geared toward my studies, toward medical lab research in all fields of animals, humans, nature, respecting. The FDA has certain, as I stated, restrictions on more in past years, but they haven't entirely gotten rid of clozapine from the market. Whoever's working there by law to humans to hear this and can push this by law under God, when they're employed are asked, are you going to respect those you're going to be employed and then working with, and do everything in your job description you have to do. So the FDA, the Federal Drug Administration, approves certain drugs, medications, antipsychotics, and has to the best of their reasoning ability who works there. But there's a research been done for years and trials in all countries of all different antipsychotics and different humans and different things. So it's clear to see that clozapine is not allowed to be sold. It is not allowed to be produced in the world at all. It is not beneficial to any human brain, mental, or physical health. It is in fact very harmful in many ways to the brain, many parts of the brain, cognitive abilities, thinking abilities, memory parts of the brain, causes over sedation, human to salivate to have more saliva produced, drooling at night. Humans knocked and over sedated up to many milligrams past they can handle, especially men. There's a liquid clozapine with their own market, with their own pharmacies, with their own numbers of clozapine registering the patients that are registered specifically with clozapine, clozaril, the pharmacies that go along with this. Pharmacists know. They studied more years and as much as doctors do, and studied this organic chemistry and know the organic compounds that are made out of the chemicals inside out, and know that right away clozapine cannot be given to any human. It is essentially chemicals that harm the brain, result in human having too many side effects. The physical health is impaired. Human cannot function to do a job. A human cannot drive a vehicle. A human, while on clozapine, a human has blood sugars going up and down, leads to, over in the long run, a human getting potentially diabetes. The visceral fat levels on the belly and overall fat is increased in humans, and with clozapine, and harms their physical health, causes them to be overweight, have blood pressure problems, heart problems for life. As long as they're given this, the human brain is damaged in many ways, and it gets worse over time, doesn't help the human brain. So there is no proper health reason, purpose for clozapine to ever be prescribed in the first place or ever produced, and is not allowed to be deemed allowable to be produced for the purpose of prescription by a medical psychiatrist or doctor by the FDA. To be produced, to be put in specific clozapine pharmacies, would they know our negligent staff going along with it, that swear oath to God and going along with harming their patients, cannot make money by law under God to harm another human life and make money for it, but with their pay. And most illegally done is considered then illegal human torture. These humans are responsible and know and make pay in the FDA, Federal Drug Administration, and other countries, other drug administrations well known in the world, medical boards, going along with them, other ones, pharmaceutical companies, clozapine company, other well-known antipsychotics, dangerous, ABILITES, really hazardous to the brain and physical health, potentially long-term life, long harmful to brain if taken in long run as well, cause severe brain damage, impairment of cognitive thinking abilities in themselves, preventing a human to function in their normal daily lives and cannot do a job, cause economy to go down, humans with bright future, even children study different years lost, such as myself, years of brain damage illegally, cannot be done, against human free will, not consenting to these harmful, dangerous antipsychotics. Humans already with health concerns of the brain, mental health, most are given to recovering drug addicts, alcoholics recovering, which need a proper diet and health. Most all humans do with mental health concerns and a happy life. Proper counseling, proper nutritious food diet recommended, enforced by staff as needed, doctors to prescribe these if needed, human choose to go to a mental ward or medical ward for proper brain mental assessment, proper care by medical staff. The FDA wrongly promotes this and didn't deem illegal to stop production of this as well of clozapine, didn't stop the production of the liquid clozapine, the tablets, all forms of it. Knows the staff are going along with it, did nothing to stop them, fire the ones. The pharmacists is well known in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. In CAMH alone, hundreds of people over years wrong illegally this way, harmed. Don't even have a brain disorder, some actually brain damage, and didn't need, and this different actual health concerns that harm their brain more, and misinformed will give clozapine they don't need and harm them in many ways, preventing them from actually being treated with proper medication or natural supplements, basic counseling all they needed, to go outside free when they choose, to live a happy, productive life. That's all they needed. To go out in the sun with normal vitamin D from the sun helps the brain. Proper omega-3 is recommended, and how to have a healthy immune system, and to be recommended a happy life as they rightly deserve, to have their normal driver's license, to do have a job after they studied if they were children, newcomers to be recommended, treated fairly even more, that don't know English, not wrongly admitted even, misdiagnosed with a general term such as schizophrenia and put on clozapine. Humans, some don't even know that they don't have to be on clozapine, and then what schizophrenia is a general term and has nothing to do with clozapine being prescribed to them. And illegally, some they're harmed but overdosed. Some recovering drug addicts need a healthy brain counseling nutrients as they can, not clozapine harming them more. Misinformed, there, a million people knows that these staff know that they cannot, no human can smoke on any medication, especially clozapine. It makes their clozapine level go up and down, is very dangerous to their health. Not monitoring the patients they're letting out and going smoking outside, on smoking cannabis, cigarettes, not monitored. The FDA is responsible for many human lives harmed, children, old people, potentially pregnant women. Humans already have side effects with the clozapine, would love to have children, but misinformed were. And men cannot have, they have so many side effects rather that cannot have a child, and a woman too, if given clozapine. Their lives, and like mine, have not, no one has the right to disrespect my health, my patient rights, my human rights, my woman rights to be healthy of brain, mind, and be to have a proper caring doctor, psychiatrist assess my proper medical health and let me go and not wrongly misdiagnose me, to put on a general term and clozapine given so they have a paycheck, a client, and wrongly go along with clozapine knows is very harmful and a woman cannot have children, has too many side effects. A woman already, and all humans have blood frequent testing when go for this, and are weak with no blood left, not the beneficial when given clozapine or any antipsychotic, because human needs all the blood they can have and healthy nutrients. Not the doctor not giving nutritious food, almost nothing to even eat. Humans starving like myself, while on clozapine is not a good thing. To survive on clozapine, a human needs a very nutritious diet with very nutrient-rich foods, even meal replacements added on top when needed, to exercise regularly, to never be overdosed, to only be given if really needed by consent, free of choice. But even then, a little amount of it is harmful, not beneficial to any human. It does not help. I looked up myself, knew all the neurobiology, know the side effects. As I stated, unfortunately lived through it. Illegally given to me, but no, and figured out myself. Looked up most recent research of some credible researchers online and found that this is not beneficial, any clozapine, to any part of the brain, to any physical health. It harms the metabolism, white blood cell count is monitored, eventually drops, human immune system gets weak, cannot fight off any foreign substances, including clozapine, any foreign microorganisms, common cold eventually, human blood sugars go up and down, humans become diabetic in the long run. In the long run, the brain is damaged more and it's not helped. It is true. It is not a cure, clozapine. Human blood overdrawn as stated, or frequent blood testing. Blood pressure goes up and down. Human heart is damaged. Needs recommended and internalized amounts of vitamin C to lessen the oxidative stress on the human physicality and brain. Is not given to these patients as well separately, unfortunately. This is beyond a disrespect of human life. Humans with bright futures, intelligent, some already have a poor humans with a brain damage disorder not assessed properly, and this further damage give them more health concern brain damage other than the one that they had. Not informed properly because these humans are pushing clozapine. The FDA did not ban clozapine. Clozaril is research for years, is even a human in the research labs. The pharmaceutical companies know, even basic high school students, medical doctors all know, psychiatrists. Clozapine is harmful to the brain and is many ways I told and never beneficial to any human alive. Increases human mortality rate when taken in the long run, and human cannot function to study, to do a job. Their thinking ability is impaired, memory damage, sleep too many hours, don't have the ability to exercise as much and put in words when they have nothing to do there, no funding, live a sad life, suffering there, mistreated, don't have to even be there at all. Could have been assessed properly health, and even basically I was intelligent, had to beg for a meal replacement such as say boost with certain vitamins, mineral, and a woman needed. And other humans don't even know about this. To get B complex helps the brain metabolism needed to lessen the side effects of clozapine. Every day given by the doctor has to prescribe in these facilities to recommend it to the patients. Not myself, I knew about this. To ask them for this, the nursing staff still had to push the issue and they barely gave it to me. Other humans are given clozapine and other dangerous antipsychotics and never even recommended, saying that, and they are right to know but don't know that they need a meal replacement if needed, if they don't have a meal. The meals given there, maybe box of milk, maybe eggs once good in morning, and a disgusting muffin and a piece of chicken maybe taste good once, and the rest of the day no food and end up begging on the street for handouts for food from some well-known restaurants, at least Care near CAMH, previous there, and give some people some food. Where the facilities are funded with $100 million in new facilities and keep them in the old buildings, humans suffering, don't even have to be there, not informed that they're illegally there. Some don't know English, have rights to know, told some of them, thanks for letting me know. I told the doctor to lower the clozapine. I don't need to sleep for 12 hours. Knocked out cold, I right to go outside and be healthy. Oh, thanks for letting me. I'm not gonna eat chips, white flour on clozapine. I'll eat whole grains, I'll eat nuts, and I'm healthier. The doctor didn't tell me to take B complex. Thanks for letting me know. You let me know about omega 3s now. I'm thinking easier in the brain. My heart is better. Thanks for letting me know about vitamin C. I'm a lot healthier. There's COVID, others going on. I need a healthy immune system. Thanks for letting me know. I feel a lot better. Lessen the side effects of all these supplements and from food in general. Vitamin D help my brain. When you told me this, they didn't tell me, unfortunately, for 10 years. That's a whole decade. Every year has 365 days worth of meals they didn't give me, and I was suffering with clozapine over sedated, sleeping, drooling. Not recommend to take vitamin B12, lessen side effects, all B vitamins to help my brain, organs, food they didn't give me. I help certain people told, but there's hundreds over the years that are not informed even to given supplements and a nutritious food to lessen the side effects of clozapine, or even given illegally to these people. They're starving, over sedated, knocked out, unconscious almost to the point. and can exercise, have nothing to do in this world, and COVID didn't help because they stayed indoors to prevent the spread of it. Gaining too much weight when can't exercise because of the side effects and on the belly weighing down the human belly, the body and heart. Humans that didn't even need have different brain health concern or depression that didn't have to be there wrongly given these clozapine and other antipsychotics. Benzodiazepines stated to relieve anxiety, help with insomnia. These don't help in any way. These, as known by doctors, even a high school student with basic studies in nutrition, human brain function, and basic molecular biology, and humans, especially doctors, know surgeon specialists, know that these clozapine cannot be given to any human because, as I stated, it has no benefit to human proper brain, and physical health. It is never a cure and decreases human life expectancy by 10 to 15 years. A human, that means, will die 10 to 15 years sooner because of the harmful side effects. 100 of them, in essence, and human blood overdrawn weak and can accomplish anything in life. Humans have their time wasted against fuel in the words because of this FDA not getting rid of clozapine for years. They made the paychecks have to turn it back, give it back rather. Look into the history of who was working there. They are responsible for the health failing of hundreds of people in Toronto alone, and myself. If they didn't produce this and be responsible for rather the saying that it is approved by the Federal Drug Administration FDA, clozapine or clozaril, olanzapine, risperidone, polyperidone, loxapine, a dangerous brain procedure termed electroconvulsive. I put in quotation therapy, but I said it is torture, not therapy ever. Not therapeutic, beneficial to brain or physical health ever. The FDA still illegally, my words, true spoken, approving, and I'm warning humans. Just because the FDA approves something, don't trust them. Look into these matters yourself. Act in the best interest of your own health. Do your research. Take your time. Your health is very important of brain, physical health. Don't trust everyone in medical fields. Clearly, as I stated, my situation victim is living proof. My true spoken word, a victim of an educated human as well. Live through what these negligent staff and by God or says don't get away with, and by law, but are not followed up on. Humans filed complaints, but the college didn't look into or didn't right away took, as my situation is beyond disheartening for a year and a half for a victim to report the issue to say they told to get an investigator to investigate these doctors. The week seconds go by. Did you get investigator? Human have to victim follow up. Humans have rights. Didn't even tell me. Then I found out myself. Could get a criminal charges put against these doctors and be done faster to even put them in prison. Humans have rights, have a soul, emotions, a life affected. I'm homeless is not a saying in Canada when in cold in hotel room. Dosability didn't give enough and me other humans, maybe few hundred in years, to require to survive not for 30 days and nights, which is not enough for one night out of the cold. From freezing snow for 24 hours on a human skin disabled and a victim with the Ontario province and other College's medical staff made millions. Paycheck were supposed to care, to respect my health and assess properly, never harm me. And illegally harm me can't. And then no medical negligence lawyers to afford. College didn't do their job and give me money to live, find any way for housing to help me, help with disability, but have to. Didn't respect my life, made their money, harming my life can't. And millions others don't even know to file complaints. Misinformed, don't know, they write down information, told, push the issue, tell the staff if you're not doing your job, nurse. Nurse can't say I can't help with the lowering clozapine. Doctor only does this. Wait till 2 weeks when the doctor comes and asks him to lower it. That's 2 whole weeks human suffering, and the clozapine don't even need. And if the FDA did their job and never promote this and deemed it a legal drug, not allowed to be produced by any pharmaceutical company or any company that calls the rule that makes these, to make sure that the doctors never go along to promote it, then my life and 100 million people's brain, mental, physical health wouldn't suffer. A human has a life, valuable emotions. A human could have done research and benefited million people, saved medical techniques, vaccines for years against SARS, COVID. Me with my education, research, benefited million people's lives and couldn't because the brain damaged me. In essence, damaged my brain illegally to have a patient there with clozapine and is considered by me true is essentially some chemicals that harm the brain and body in many ways. Don't have any benefit. Illegally given to me, most are, and they're humans misinformed as I stated, and not even informed that they don't need it or what it is entirely. Humans not educated as most are, not past high school, university, not barely humans are educated in nutrition, basic human or any medical matters, but have rights to know is informed by the doctors, FDA, to have representatives there really stating this is harmful to health, it is your choice, your right to be informed not to take clozapine. Don't have any humans even standing there. So I'm asking anyone who watches this video as medical doctors, psychiatrists, by law under God, you have to do what's right. Help those humans all on the earth. Contact, you have the resources, do what you can. By law under God, easy to push this topic to the FDA, whoever's working there, not doing their job. Clearly state and put my situation there, narrate the victims, millions for years in Toronto, well-known city in the world. Most well-known, that is. Toronto, downtown Ontario, Canada. The whole building there of negligent staff in CAMH, Mount Sinai Hospital. Emergency staff misassessing humans, put there and given clozapine. Most, as I stated, are recovering drug addicts. Some others are serious, have mental health concerns, need proper assessment of nutrition advice given to them mainly to help save their brains with nutrients, proper counseling, and not wrongly prescribed a dangerous antipsychotic that doesn't help and harms the humans severely to oversedate them and harm their sugar levels, white blood cell levels, make them diabetic, their immune system shut down, can't fight off anything, and even foreign microorganisms, foreign other compounds, clozapine harming their health, and olanzapine, other side effects, nausea. Human is ill is not a second to keep in mind, 100 million seconds as long as they're on ill. And cannot exercise with the right to be, not given it an exercise, freely walk around, don't have to deal with this psychiatrist negligent staff, live and make a job for themselves, especially newcomers that don't know English, new citizens, come from poor countries with high hopes to be in Canada, a land of opportunity, America, go there and illegally put there misdiagnosed, unfortunate ones rather, put a ward and stay there, wasted half their time, some even, as I can understand, for 10 to 20 years, some more still there. Have nothing to do, basically talk, put in other people injected with this that causes muscle tremors, severely damage the nerves, injected in front of others, humans and women, children there don't want to see, old people, giving one human to another, these ones, yeah, there's even men, is not a saying, is that humans all have souls crying to see others neglected this way. They don't even need this at all. It clearly doesn't help any human health and never did. No nutritious food, as I said, recommended, less than side effects, not even prescribed by the staff to inform humans entirely not to smoke when injected with these other ones. There's risperidone, these polyperidone, all of these have online misinformation on even well-known sites to be taken down for humans to be aware of. FDA, other boards, do your job, by law under God, or resign once and for all. Turn your entire pain when you are harming health cannot make money to harm human life. Mine in itself is one human that you have criminal charges against my life of resulting in human illegal torture. Torture is never justified by God. Every human is judged in their job description to do right, and are gonna, and by employers by law under God to respect other humans they're gonna work with, and potentially millions, especially FDA, are responsible for 100 million lives suffering already for years. Lost couldn't have children. By law, they sue different ways. Can humans for emotional strain? Human couldn't have children. A woman, a man, if misdiagnosed, these are legally given to human, shouldn't be produced, shouldn't be approved by the FDA, Federal Drug Administration, other drug administrations in Canada, in the States, in other countries are doing this still wrongly, having these and produced. Pharmaceuticals companies, whoever works there knows this. They don't benefit anyone, did nothing, can making millions to wrong humans can't. Morally, this is wrong. This is ethically wrong. There are bioethics boards not doing anything and making money, going on vacation, taking their money even to hear this, to go and give it to their family and children, luxury items, and use this money while my life and other humans harmed. With illegal, as I deem illegal, is true to any human and should be by the FDA considered illegal. Drugs, harmful to health, forbidden by humans, by law, and under God, by every human health and safety board, by every ethics board, by every other medical council that there is that deals with these things, by every medical doctor, every psychiatrist, every brain specialist, every physiologist, nurse, registered nurse, pharmacist, all medical boards of the facilities, of medical wards, mental wards, long-term care facilities, forensic units in medical and mental health wards, pediatric care, children units. All these humans know, and wrongly needlessly even children are harmed by these CLOZAPINE. Misdiagnosed, even as I stated, listen, schizophrenia has nothing to do, this general term, with human, with being given clozapine. Humans stated to have to be catatonic. Catatonia. There's no human that is catatonic. These terms themselves don't have any specific, actual, medically based, specific medical brain mental health concern, disorder, or symptoms associated with a certain part of the brain and their physical symptoms and the physicality. These terms and have been put for these humans and wrongly given clozapine, ECT, that actually endanger human life more have nothing to do with catatonic, nothing to do with schizophrenia, nothing to do with these terms of mania, nothing to do with psychosis. This is truth that even a young child, I'm saying, knows this. But not in the world. Medical psychiatrists, doctors, or nursing staff, even the caring ones, did anything even to promote this online, to speak these words and put on the website to care and get rid of any if there's misinformation is a serious matter. Did absolutely nothing but make the 400,000 to million a year. And 100 million people suffering. There's even the one or two doctors that work in that facility where they're all mostly medically negligent and CAMH or Sinai, and they do nothing, absolutely nothing either, and are accomplice in a sense, no, to do something but not doing. To get rid of this staff, hire competent, caring medical psychiatry staff, pharmacists that say, look, I'm not going to promote work with clozapine. This is not going to help this patient. They even see smokers walk outside and don't even comment. The pharmacists say, look, he's a hazard. They did their job. Promote the proper health. Say your prescribed clozapine is best in your best interest, rather, of your health, not to smoke. Clozapine makes the levels of this clozapine go up and down, the smoke rather. The content from cigarettes when you smoke. Don't smoke weed, obviously, when on clozapine. This harms the brain already, and human is already have other side effects from smoking weed or cannabis. Other humans go drinking, not monitored. Their health is really drastically decreased. Quality of life reduced to nothing. No hopes of a future. No funding ODSP and disability in Ontario to get through to human for a normal basic month. Housing was on me as a waiting list, put on it and put for 20 years. Finally called me after 20 years for housing, basic shelter for disability, where human cannot work, and I'm a victim in Ontario, which had the budgets to fund this right away and didn't do by law under God. And humans are put on this list waiting and end up living on the street disabled with barely the clothes on their back, begging for food, and this facility is making billions. Someone's taking the money. And the FDA responsible for humans having a clozapine on the market to be given to them, and most illegally, and they're misinformed and wrongly by doctors to newcomers or humans that don't know English or medical terminology, and given by these negligent staff. Doctors of psychiatry, medical doctors, general practitioners all go along with one after another. I stated from one to get a second opinion. The next one went along with this one in the facility, stated in it clozapine when I don't. Then the other one, then they reduce some years, then pushing ECT, then pushing olanzapine. They state even to human to prevent the relapse of symptoms, that I don't even have symptoms to begin with of relapse of anything. Certain these terms using with people that don't understand this, saying I'm gonna give you clozapine to prevent the relapse of symptoms, but don't tell them what they are, which brain specific disorder they have symptoms of. And to prevent it from ever coming affecting you in the future. They are prescribing clozapine for the wrong reasons, and human brain hard over-sedated. Doctor come once every 2 weeks. They don't know, could lower it, avoid entirely. Nurses go along, people begging for food, starving, and health failing drastically. No nutrients, no exercise, smoking, becoming really ill, heart failure, and eventually die out. But after 10 to 20 years is long, decades. 100 million even a day, human with not enough, as I was there, true. and clozapine don't need, but to be not given a nutritious one breakfast, then have to starve till lunchtime. No snacks. The odious peanut money for food shelter has to be disability. When human can work, is not enough to even get a healthy snack in between or food. These nutrition facilities they have there are enough funding to fund and have to really nutritious food and vitamins, nuts, healthy snacks, all on clozapine alone. This is not enforced. Humans don't even know about it, and I said as myself, or starving. And while given a harmful chemical to the brain, clozapine, for example, and physically in many ways, and a woman needs vitamins, had to beg for a meal replacement to help with the vitamins when they're not no meal enough, with not enough nutritious value given, no proteins, no vitamin C, no B vitamins, no omega 3s, no healthy fat, no bananas, potassium, no avocados. Simple ones can go out in case of COVID or wards. Put on forms can go unless with staff to go out for air in the sun. Humans, if the FDA did their job, hire humans to even go now, monitor, see what's going on. These humans are responsible for these not banning clozapine, olanzapine, risperidone, polyperidone, not checking up on the and banning all misinformation online to stop the production of these illegal, I deem illegal antipsychotics, very harmful to health, never cures. Benzodiazepines, other ones that humans were affected by, I wasn't. Humans to look online, studies, put a video, call them. Whoever has contact information, give it to me. I will speak to them about this. Immediately act. This has to be resolved on this earth. Every second counts. They don't even put a proper all restrictions easily stated. There's misinformation about everything is wordy online. Maybe possibly to weasel their way out of it. What exactly the restrictions are. These are definitions of these antipsychotics are all generally stated, don't specifically state what they're for. This is wrong, morally, ethically wrong. The FDA didn't follow up when it's promoting, didn't these ones to put it online, has to fix this by law under God or hire someone who will rectify with the victims, millions of them for years. Apologize, put formal apologies, ask their forgiveness. Humans have a life to be respected, a valuable human brain, physical health. They cannot get away with, and previous workers there that work at the head FDA, other drug administrations in Canada, States, other well known countries, not doing their job, making the millions, taking their money home to the families, illegally made money to harm my life. Cannot have children because of it, kind human would love to do. Intelligent future had lost 40,000 lost for studies, harmed my brain, memory damage, prescribed clozapine, a one from another. Then there's suffered dehydrated, no food, no nutrients, starving, put awards, people yelling things, injected with things, clozapine and overseas humans suffering. No human that way in itself, a kind-hearted me, woman, and educated, no in medical terms, no one should suffer. And millions suffering that way don't even know they don't have to take it, misinformed. FDA not following up to the doctors to make sure they enforce what the restrictions are. There are new ones, but not doing their job, have to do morally or hire someone who will immediately fire those humans. By law, under God, easily to push this topic. By lawyers, no. Medical staff. Normal humans can file complaints, please do, to FDA. Put this story, others is easily to seen online. Millions suffered for years. Clozapine, as I stated, can easily human type of a research is easily in other humans know for years that is proved easily that is not beneficial to any brain, mental, or physical health. Definitely not to a woman with a child in womb, not to a woman that's breastfeeding, to have put in a toxic, harmful substance in the brain to the bloodstream to the milk to feed a child. ECT, their misinformation, they don't put all the restrictions and follow up is their job. Bing website, the main Microsoft, have all these different sites, Wikipedia, other ones are online. Hundreds of misinformation, not all restrictions stated their job to put on these sites. So please do. FDA, clean your ears out. Stop disrespecting other humans' lives. You don't want to be disrespected, your brain, physical health, wrongly misdiagnosed or given CLOZAPINE when you clearly know you don't want it and you wouldn't benefit from it, and no human who can. Their brain is more damaged, their physical health. Humans can't have children because of side effects. Then you have this other going along with the blood testing, other staff going along with it. Negligence, psychiatrists, nurses, secretaries, medical, pharmacists. Clean it up with them. State this is your job. Stop promoting clozapine. You have few restrictions you added over recent years. You're supposed to make sure it's never produced, never sold, never given to any patient. Clean your ears out. Most staff are illegally, and you're not following up. They cannot do this. Promoting this and giving to patients. To have a client to over sedate them illegally, harm them, so they sleep and have nothing to do. And have no nutritious meals to follow up to be produced clozapine, then enforce that nutrition have to be counseling given and enforce follow up that the staff give it to them to minimize the side effects as long as needed. None of this has been enforced, followed up on by the FDA, any other medical boards in Canada, in America, in Australia, all other countries. Making the millions by law under guard to harm human life when employed no not to is illegal. The paychecks will be given to someone who is most poor anyway, and to have money to survive needs in itself the paycheck, and will actually do their job, train, and get rid of clozapine, and supposed to all years, and millions would not suffer, including myself. Poor, homeless, have a soul, and then every second after that crying I couldn't have children but could have. I lost a degree. There's no medical resources then have to for lawyers in this to help. The college didn't do their part. They cannot do. Human is limited with money, could get lawyers and rights to sue and win a multi-million-dollar lawsuit, but can't afford because they're disabled. Disability doesn't help. These all things added up affect the wrong my life if FDA did their job. Those that are employed under them, there's other staff, not just one human. The pharmaceutical companies know them by name. They have the resources. You and FDA call these pharmaceutical companies, clozapine company, stop producing it. Make sure the humans that are already on it follow up on the doctors to put the funding that they already have in the facilities beyond already have for nutrition to proper food, help wean off the humans on clozapine don't need, give them the rightly deserved funding, help with disability they're supposed to get. If they weren't on clozapine, wouldn't be disabled, brain damage, and over sedated, knocked out almost for 12 hours, and waiting for their next illegal prescription in 2 weeks, and suffering 2 weeks, can't do anything, can't exercise because their heart is damaged, their immune system damaged. Fear for life might get coronavirus and the immune system might not work. White blood cell levels go too low, might get diabetes, their heart is damaged, strained, can't exercise, can't do a job, had a bright future like myself, could have done research and done more in the world than you, and not harm lives. Other humans, children there wronged. Harm illegally. Old people clearly don't need it. No food, starving, place with rodents, inhumane living condition, mental wards, clozapine push, illegal trials by staff that don't even, I don't know, is I'm human educated, respect all nationalities, but I don't know how they got into Canada. A well-known country, don't even know English and pushing these CLOZAPINE, writing psychiatric journals illegally, promoting CLOZAPINE. They harm my life. They don't put that in the journal. They had no rights to harm my life, my brain, physical health. Put the side effects true in that journal, then million people would see the truth and not suffer and not take clozapine. That's their job, FDA, to make sure this happen. Put the one, even this video, put it on your FDA site. World Health Organization. Do your jobs. You studied 4 long years. Know every medical staff, different items, rather information inside out, is your jobs. You cannot make a pay to make humans suffer. Brain damage, long is on hours, day to night, long-term effects. They're morally responsible for the illegal torture of humans. Long disrespect of myself given this almost 20 years. From one doctor, negligent psychiatrist to another, have a team member, HIP team, home intervention psychosis team, promoting clozapine, illegal torture. Just smiling, then offending, yelling at a woman, you need the treatment. How is clozapine treatment? Treatment is a term for proper health to help. To treat a human with a disorder, mental, I don't even have. This is not treatment proper to human health. Clozapine is illegal torture, resulting in. Is torture is considered by law, every human knows, legal lawyers, doctors, FDA, Federal Drug Administration. Bodily harm of a brain, any part of it, mind, human organs, a soul, human, a life, disrespected dignity, to bodily harm caused to a human and doesn't choose is illegal human torture. Not allowed on the earth is unethical, immoral, is a disrespect of bioethics laws, is a disrespect of dignity of a human life, a valuable life, to be respected, their brain, physical health, a valuable life in every way, human rights, patient rights. By under God is never justified any right reason to torture human. All humans, religious or not, know the laws, is fined by imprisonment. Pay has to be taken away from those that have caused this result in human torture of humans such as myself, a horrendous disrespect of a life, seriously and torture this way, bodily harm brain, reducing human quality of life, couldn't have children due to serious, approximately 10 more serious side effects for life, brain damage, sugar levels going up and down, heart damage, too much fat on a skinny woman, visceral fat growing too much, side effects. This is an illegal torture pill in itself. To a human fear that we die sooner, be suffering there, cannot exercise, 2 week blood frequent testing, venipuncture, painful in the hand, arm, blood of bottles, finger long bottles drawn, testing in case of side effects, 100 blood tests standard each one. 2-3 bottles every few days, weeks, monitoring clozapine side effects, the thyroid levels are negatively affected might be. Human cannot fight an infection, white blood cells go down. There's a few main other ones, testing every day and urine testing. Human is 2 week growing blood, a woman has menstrual cycles, doesn't need. Men, recovering humans, drug addicts given these to over sedate them when they already have a brain concern, need to rest and nutrition and harm more. Accomplish nothing in life. Then disabled left on the street begging for food even in the facilities. That have the billions even asking people for mental wards to help with mental research illegally. There is no respect for human life. And is making money for it cannot do. To hire these people and FDA that care and resign those ones. Fire whoever can, those that work at FDA. All of them wrongly going along can't make them resolve everything. And really look into rather previous years that humans in my situation 20 years and other years before couldn't make the pay have to when still alive if they even use their money but did something to harm result human life and didn't prevent clozapine sold and knew to do. All different laws apply to respect human rights, dignity, choice by law under God, don't get away with are recorded in their lives actions are punished severely when they know gonna harm million people did suffer and world clozapine don't need the brain physical health, and it's not only second for years, they are morally responsible for the torture of million people, children, people, pregnant people, misinformed people. Given this mind lost 20 years, boards even don't need suffering, crying, don't want to hear, see other people. These are by law, even if when to court would win, sue for punitive damages, criminal charges pushed, win multi-million-dollar lawsuit to the money given what I could have made for years to even work to save to have a house out of the cold. Children couldn't have emotional damages, distress, sued for and win. These humans and many people don't even know to file responsible these FDA and not doing anything and made the millions and take the go to the family and give their money. They harm people and go on, and the children I don't know how they live with. These humans do have luxury items, warm vehicles there. While human me freezing on street and gonna suffer, die needlessly, brain damage, need more money funding just because I can't work because they damage my memory, my organs. Human had to fast ECT to get rid of this FDA. Clean your ears out. A human has to fast for almost 8 hours and injected with no vitamins, blood left, water in the veins. And I had blood thinners that was illegally stopped, and I didn't need at all. Electroconvulsive quotations therapy, this is not therapy, was illegally given as well against my freedom of choice, not allowed by law. I was against entirely with a venipuncture over 10 times a year, an intelligent human against by 10 staff working at ECT clinic in CAMH, Toronto, and they have the new one in the Tamerty associated, whoever's running that, put the $1 million into this new ECT and brain stimulation some facility. The staff still work there. The other ones there, the investigation said it was over after a year and a half by CPSO, CNO, other ones. But the staff were still working the whole time there, wronging other humans' life can't. FDA was supposed to get rid of ECT and never promote this in the world. And other drug administrations, medical councils, boards, colleges. So do your job. You know ECT is not beneficial to prevent depression, to resolve anything, to heal anything. Clean your ears out. Go online. Go to Microsoft, Bing. These are main sites. Million people tune in to see this. Many people mental health concerns or have rights, human rights, patient rights to be informed. FDA didn't do their job. There's 100 million misinformation I've seen online. An intelligent human with a medical studies background and know what the side effects are. And these are not stated clearly at all online. There are general wordy terms. Wikipedia need to FDA look at. Hire proper medical staff. Do your job, immediately act. Save the health, prevent it from suffering of millions of people. You were supposed to do and previously employed in FDA and other medical boards, drug administrations, pharmaceutical companies. ECT has misinformation, 100 million on sites, well known even associated with Mayo Clinic, pediatric children websites. In CAMH, downtown is a center for addiction mental health. Previous one, the new Tamerty funding it. The new one, Mount Sinai Hospital. Yeah, brilliance patient records, true to prove it. By law under God, you cannot make your pay. The previous ones, as I stated, work. Look into it. If they did wrong, cannot make their pay, give it back. They have to work it off. If they spend the money that they used, cannot use it, make pay to harm human lives. Promoted ECT, didn't follow up online their jobs, whoever in the FDA and other boards, inform them, take away their pay. If they didn't clearly do their job, people misinformed. Online still, videos people make, some illegally, stating different things about clozapine need to be followed up by FDA, Federal Drug Administration. If they're allowing for the clozapine, then follow up. Make sure clearly restrictions stated. Put all the real side effects. Put a patient, real human story online and link there its modern day. So humans see a true story of what side effects a human lived through, such as myself made a previous video. Free, use mine, inform humans properly, get rid of clozapine entirely. All the information online, and I've stated intelligent human, and I've deemed misinformation. Clozapine, there are general descriptions about every antipsychotic, and especially Wikipedia. That's on even other sites. Main ones have Bing, other people, the FDA, all medical doctors, psychiatrists never looked into, had to. Whoever the pharmaceutical companies make clozapine and the other ones, all of them basically state these antipsychotics were previously or are antipsychotics, a general term about mentioning, generally about might be neuroleptics. Some are first class, second class antipsychotics. They might, I put in quotation, might affect certain chemical messengers in the brain. How is this an appropriate, medically backed, true definition about what clozapine and as an antipsychotic does and is? It is not in any way. And there's millions of these online and main well-known sites misinforming millions, not exactly even telling them what the exact side effects are, the restrictions and links to the direct FDA website, the main pharmaceutical real pharmacy chemical compound stated what they exactly which part of the brain it would affect if it was beneficial, which is not. Humans have a right to know, to be informed before that given clozapine. Doctors don't do anything about it. Psychiatrists over 100 years. This is the FDA's job. Didn't do their job, cannot make their pay. People 100 million looking like myself, but I'm educated, went to follow up. But over years, they're not educated. Looking up and see this wording, and everyone under clozapine, it's stated under olanzapine, under polyperidone, risperidone, all the different ones, antipsychotics, the benzodiazepines, major ones, there's other ones. There's a generalistic, some kind of basic maybe definition with saying might in many words of it. Potentially for the companies to weasel the way out of it somehow. This is not ethically right. It's not morally right. This is misinformation. This is not a respect by a company that is a human educated and by employer asked and sworn actually a human under God. If they're going to do a proper job, are also asked in the FDA because they're gonna affect 100 million people in the world with clozapine and different drugs, medications. They have to deem it proper to human health or it's not considered a medication. Antipsychotics, the ones I stated, and benzodiazepines, are not proper beneficial to any brain, mental, or physical health. In any way, cause more harm if a human doesn't need it, and even if they do need it, which they don't because Most are misdiagnosed with a general term as stated: schizophrenia, psychosis, mania, schizoaffective disorder. These are fake general terms and catatonic that have nothing to do actually with a specific brain mental disorder, and the clozapine doesn't help it in any way because there's nothing to treat. And clozapine is not a treatment. It is not as medical terms everyone knows, FDA, clean your ears out. Other humans, kindly tell them, serious matter. There's complaint departments for proper reasons, for humans to act. Please help me, those medical staff, lawyers, whoever hears this, put two humans to ask other legal staff they know or doctors to further know the laws, other ones, FDA, to clean their act up, get rid of illegal and deem illegal antipsychotics. By my own true spoken words and stories of millions, and there is backed medical evidence for years. I cannot say there isn't. The research been done in simple and chemical labs, research facilities, doctors, everyone knows. FDA knows. It doesn't benefit, is not a medical treatment beneficial to human brain, mental, or physical health. Clozapine, clozaril, ABILITES, aripiprazole, olanzapine, risperidone, paliperidone, ECT, electroconvulsive, change the term, is not electroconvulsive therapy, in quotations. It is electroconvulsive torture, especially against human free will of choice, cannot be given to someone that doesn't choose to be harmed that way for life. To have to fast for 8 hours with no food or water left, dehydrated, to wake up early in the morning before a dangerous brain procedure that they don't know will be wake up in a different room with severe memory damage, can't remember what they learned, what their recent history, what their family's name, boyfriend, anyone is, loved ones, pets, can't take care of them. They don't even remember what their names are because the severe memory damage. A seizure is caused into a human brain. No human wants a seizure. Some have one side of the brain, some bilateral ECT with the two electrical wires, electrodes taped to a live human two sides of the head and knocked unconscious first. Put something in the mouth so that when they electrocute, the teeth don't clench together and not be harmed. Have a breathing mask and not even put mine on right and almost suffocated with potential more brain damage. Injected and there's not enough blood in the veins. Human can't sleep enough, have to get up early to the facility. First come, first serve. Humans line up early in the cold in Canada and Toronto, and dehydrated, fasting for hours. Children, old people didn't need. For ACT, whole clinic shows well rested. Staff and people freezing outside keep them there to open the doors. And COVID time only let one or two in a time. People freezing before a dangerous brain procedure need to be well rested wood and enough nutrients for to benefit the brain, but fasting have to before general anesthesia, and then have not enough blood in the veins for they even to inject it to the vein. Not enough electrolytes in the brain, proteins, anything, glucose to the brain, to the heart, blood flow, then electrocuted alive. Essentially in the brain, two sides bilaterally, and body electrocute alive. Severe, not enough electrolytes in the bloodstream, nervous system to handle electrocute alive. And this and online is misinformation that FDA didn't do, so clean it up. It is your job. Or resign, turn your paychecks in. By law under God, you cannot disrespect human life this way in mine. You didn't follow up. You didn't make sure the staff did their job to assess human health by choice to make sure that they didn't give it to human illegally against free will of choice. It is considered against free will of human choice mind, human torture. and have severe brain damage memory of a human bright future had, and lost a university degree, and couldn't remember my own boyfriend's name or anyone I knew of, and memory severely damaged, and organs, and no human will live through fear for the life, over 10 times a year. Other humans given more frequently this illegal almost once a week. Some humans fight off to get then stated so that less frequently every 2 weeks, once a month. Some people unfortunately heard the given even almost for years. Are misinformed too by these humans on online videos. FDA all explanations of these in Mayo Clinic, well known in the States, sites affiliated with Harvard, pediatric care little children facility wrongly have misinformation general terms about ECT, and even to clear up I put a video there. FDA is your job. Clean up misinformation. You know what the term means. Misinformation is not true information, not credible. General information online that is your job to make sure is avoided. You didn't do. Millions needlessly misinformed, have not enough information to begin with general wordy terms. Even on main sites, Wikipedia, other medical PubMed sites, doctors putting journals sites their own saying they're doctors, not FDA looking at them, other drug administrations, medical boards, pharmaceutical companies, any other ones pushing ECT. ECT is electroconvulsive torture, not therapy, not therapeutic to benefit brain, mental, physical health ever. Decreases the human well-being and their life expectancy. Their memory is damaged. They cannot have a job. There are no as ODSP in Ontario, for example, to let you know. Disability gave not enough money for disabled who cannot work because of this, and victim too. Enough to be out of the cold and shelter in a cheap hotel room, basic one, just out of the winds blowing snow on a disabled brain damaged human me for 2 nights and have to last for 30 days, which doesn't even for food. A disabled human victim of ECT, illegal torture. And then live freezing on the street with no food, with no disability to help disabled brain damaged human. The medical negligence lawyers not covered. No way to win the lawsuit, would win, but no way to fund it, I mean. Can't afford over $30,000 for a courtroom fee for this and other FDA and other ones. College physicians, surgeons of Ontario screwing over people too, say we can't give money for this, but they're the ones who illegally hired these people. The staff that went along with it, the psychiatrists, my situation, have a list of real, true 50 medically negligent doctors, psychiatrists, well known, researchers, clinical head scientists with 3 jobs in CAMH, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and Mount Sinai Hospital, and work in emergency rooms and other well known facilities there, and are well affiliated with University of Toronto Department of Psychiatry and Medicine and other well-known universities, all of them. Made extra paycheck as professors, assistant lecturers at the university well known in Canada, Toronto, Ontario, University of Toronto. For the ones I know, for approximately 20 years. Over 2 decades, hopefully not misinforming students, future doctors, psychiatrists, other ones working as nursing staff in colleges, those colleges, schools, physiotherapist schools, these physiologists, these other ones, the pharmacists, these all medical secretaries, all went with these general terms and CLOZAPINE along with. Made the millions a year, luxury items humans see crying when and then left on the street with no disability, even funded by Ontario and Canada, have to put issues to get money to live, what they spell budgets for. A victim all needlessly suffered if they rather than FDA did their job and never promote any CLOZAPINE, ECT. They clearly don't benefit human brain, mental, physical health. Under God, you are gonna live through. Whoever's promoting this suffering of myself would live through, and others if you don't rectify this with the victims. You cannot make your money for harming humans. You could have hired that your job and make sure no clozapine ever promoted or sold, ever produced in the world. Make sure all restrictions clearly stated. Really inform humans that they need really nutritious substance if it benefit even a part brain, but it doesn't. Olanzapine, there's no use for it. Is illegal, especially against freedom of choice. It's considered human torture pills, torture tablets, torture injections of certain antipsychotics, benzodiazepines. Helping with wordy online, clean FDA is their job. Promote these and follow up online. You have to do. People are misinformed. All general information might ease insomnia. What does it mean, might ease insomnia? You cannot weasel the way out of it. These are human lives affected. Humans have rights. Children are misinformed. Future staff, medical staff, humans looking online for proper resources to help other humans misinformed. Psychiatrists misinform others for years. Other psychiatrists. People harming patients needlessly. Making the millions, no one respecting life. But if they hire those that cared, we know clozapine for years, even a child to hire a student then from high school educated in basic human nutrition, organic chemistry, can figure out parts of the brain and say, look, clozapine is harmful. Angelica's saying the truth. Get rid of it. Give them a paycheck for bright future for home and shelter, and they will help save the lives of humans right away. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that clozapine is harmful to a million ways to a human brain and physically and doesn't benefit anyone. You know that ECT doesn't help anyone with depression. FDA, those that are promoting the ECT, those that hire those, follow up on them, go there and see what humans live through. You hear my story. Go to ECT and be put through that procedure and then see what it's like, and you will never promote it and get rid of it from the world. That's how humans have to be respected, how you don't want to be mistreated, live through, then put yourself in those shoes of the humans. You go to the psychiatrist and get a clozapine pill and see how long you last with proper health. You don't. You know, you don't want to be mistreated this way. Those in the FDA, the psychiatrists that are going along with it, you didn't follow up on to make sure they treat patients with respect, to inform them about lessening side effects, to make sure they don't even overdose them, make sure they assess their proper health with this. The pharmacies making millions don't care. They have to assess proper health of the patients, care for them. Not only clozapine, there's the main market though I've seen is that there's separate pharmacies for clozapine alone. Humans making money and harming could hire a proper pharmacist, say look into this over years, see it is doctor and themselves too to care, say clearly clozapine doesn't help anyone they know. All pharmacists know. They study that, as I stated, more than anyone about all the organic chemicals, all the organic compounds rather, if there are any in any medications and antipsychotics, the chemicals they're made out of. They know how they affect the brain, human physicality, metabolism. They study this inside out. They know this more than medical doctors. These are very high level studied humans, but they're going along with it. But no, clearly clozapine doesn't benefit any brain physical health. Make the $1 to $2 million a year. Cannot by law and promoting and specifically employed in the clozapine pharmacy. Liquid clozapine, a big industry. These little cups with a liquid no human can drink is disgusting taste. And human have to drink once every how many hours, a day or two, a few hours, one in the morning, night, or how many depending on the dose. If a human is harmed the most, this swallow is disgusting, is in the human stomach, then what is the benefit of it when it harms the brain of human and physical health in a woman, children, old people, people with bright futures, newcomers, and poor end up on the street begging for food, and then it'll need more nutrients in itself because of this harming the body so many ways that humans need to reduce side effects with even more nutritious food, but our poor can't afford it. And the wards have the money, don't give it to them. The doctors won't prescribe a human unless they beg, and most not inform, unfortunately, to push the issue to get a boost. I found did my own to help someone without can have a lot of sugar to find one slim fast advance that had all B vitamins mostly that will help him, and it improved his life dramatically when he couldn't have one meal not given to him in the mental health facility. And doctors know this already, could have helped prescribe this and give it free, prescribed in their meal plan, and did absolutely nothing to him to help this for 10 years. Others 20 years, suffering with not even a meal supplement, meal replacement such as that. They could even every day given one will dramatically improve out of their health, lessen the side effects, lessen drooling, lessen their oxidative stress on their physicality, their white blood cell count go up, their sugar levels not go up, cared for. But didn't do. Angelica Gicella, I'm a humanitarian public figure and have to be respected what I speak as a human being and a serious victim of medical negligence. What I speak on this earth, true, spoken. I am also, in other matters, I am a human earth angel. It is true, I have a high ranking celestial in heaven on this earth, acting in the best interest of all humans, of all children, all humans to prevent their brain, mental, and physical health from being harmed by the FDA, those that are legally working there, immorally acting, unethically supporting the creation and production of clozapine, promoting this, not enforcing what the restrictions they are, to have already over years put away a lot more restrictions and not produce this in the first place. To stop illegally torturing humans for the purpose for you to have a paycheck, by law under God you cannot do. Morally resolve this, you have to on this earth formally apologize to all victims, find all other drug administrations that work in all other countries and in Canada to resolve this with the victims, humans that are patients' lives that were most illegally harmed by law cannot be done. There are criminal charges. These humans have rights, most even not informed, can technically the staff that gave them clozapine caused them bodily harm against their freedom of choice, brain for not a second long, life lasting, and are fined by imprisonment, are considered tortures, not justified by God or by law on earth for any right reason to bodily harm someone when they know not to, and give them clozapine, wrongly misdiagnosed and prescribed for something they don't even have and nothing to treat. And cannot by law make the money for this by under God, these staff and FDA and other boards, and have to turn their pay in and hire someone that will care and rectify these the doctors and FDA that were supposed to work and care for the patients, humans with a valuable life, dignity of God, had free will of choice, rights to be respected, a human brain, a human with emotions, a personality, a human with valuable life worth respecting their brain, mental, and physical health at all times by all, including the FDA, Federal Drug Administration, those that employ them, if there's any others higher level that employ them, didn't follow up on them, have to be looked into. The government, rather, American president, current one Biden, under their secretaries of state, do their job, find the other offices, whoever can contact them. Please help immediately to look into this, resolve this once and for all. Find out who's working at FDA, Federal Drug Administration, other ones in Canada, the States, and other countries. Bioethics boards haven't been doing their job, can't make their pay. Millions like myself suffered needlessly, left on street after result, homeless, disabled, can't work, freezing to death, don't deserve. What to think of what human as a human and FDA wouldn't want to be wrong this way and don't deserve. I don't either. But me and my other humans I know are needlessly were harmed. If you then resolve it, look online, clean up misinformation, really put the other victims' real true stories. Put mine, see the other. You can see a human disabled because of it. CLOZAPINE, intelligent, told a true story. Have the medical records, millions to prove it over 20 years. Put this on your site, put the restrictions even more. Make sure you follow up, check, go to CAMH yourself. Previous one, the new ECT departments, go to all of them. See what it's like. You're promoting and did something to humans that you wouldn't want to live through and you know is illegal and most human torture. You have no right to bodily harm anyone, to do anything or promote, rather, anything that results in human brain, mental, or physical health impairment, memory damage, cognitive thinking ability damage that decreases a human quality of life, to prevent a woman from having children because of side effects of some substance or ECT, antipsychotic, benzodiazepine, many other the term even medications, but how they're medications, they're not, if they're not helping human health, brain, mental, physical. There's no specific enough information term there. ECT even are stated that is, and Bing I recently found, but a separate site there to clean it up. This it says it's safe for a woman who is pregnant to go through ECT. This is really misinformation. This is a human endangering a life of a woman with an unborn baby. No human wants to put my story there, will avoid it and save million lives and do your job. FDA, get rid of ECT entirely. Tell them to clean up all misinformation and get rid of it entirely and I'll close the doors till it's done. All those humans working, misinforming people so they have a paycheck, even smiling, can't look anyone as true in the eye. If you even look online, do your job. FDA, anyone else working with that promotes ECT or who started this, boards, go there online, YouTube. There are ECT human doctors stating but acting, promoting this, but not fully stating. I put a video specifically what I lived through, what the real side effects and what I lived through is not explained in any site online, medical, psychiatric one, journals, what actually happens true to a human before, during, after ECT. Electroconvulsive therapy, even the term needs changed to electroconvulsive torture. This is truth spoken words. All endangering health and life misinformation, you have to act now. You have the resources, you didn't do, millions suffered. Turn your paycheck in, save your soul. Human lives are recorded, their actions, and sworn oath to God in your medical, known and FDA. All humans cannot be and are not going to be given paycheck to harm this many people, but you did. When a human dies, keep in mind, religious or not, every action thought they did, making money they knew not to, and result in harm of my life for 20 years. Others, millions online misinformed, you didn't do your job. Women put the fetuses crying, they're misinformed about ECT being is not human dehydrated and illegally for a few number of 8 hours is a long time, and get up in the morning and have to be have a vein punctured with a baby in the womb, pregnant, and have their brain, human body, I mean, knocked unconscious with general anesthesia, hungry, already starving. After fasting with no electrolytes flowing enough blood to the womb is clearly not beneficial to a baby, to a woman brain that's pregnant. It is considered illegal torture of a woman and a pregnant lady with a little baby not even grown enough cells, well, but has a life, a dignity, a valuable life to be respected by the FDA, to go online and do their job while making even $1 million, to take their lazy ass and take themselves the note to respect human life and go online and go on each site on Bing, go on this Wikipedia, clean up the main sites, all medical sites, psychiatric journals that you were supposed to do on previous workers, and get rid of these terms, these general descriptions of ECT. This is not a safe word. This is entirely misinformation and deemed very harmful, dangerous to a live woman, who then has the brain electrocuted both sides and body while a baby is not born yet in the womb. And it stays there on a Bing site, Microsoft Bing, well known rather, in every country, a website has misinformation like this in Mayo Clinic and well known in America, Harvard's associated sites, other university well-known sites in the world, really big medical well-known research facilities, Ontario in Canada, America, in Australia, all other countries in the world online. This is seen by millions, trillions of people looking to see these, have mental concerns and trying to see if there's any treatment proper for them. Saying in the ECT, there is therapy, this is not therapy. Electroconvulsive in itself is electricity. Convulsive makes a human body electrocuted, alive, convulse, muscles, spasm, twitch, clenched teeth, while human body is electrocuted, alive. While knocked unconscious without enough nutrients, electrolytes, blood fluids to handle it, starving, fasting for 8 hours, and brain electrocute both sides, human fear before knocked out cold. No human should live through that in itself, and then don't know and wake up at a long time after in a different room and cannot remember anything, and starving and have to recover and have no job after, disabled, poor, in Canada it's cold, no disability, and have no children, can't remember anything for a million day and nights, some are really long lasting, have severe memory damage more than others. Definitely not beneficial to a woman and anyone in any way with a baby in the womb to be risk electrocute alive. You don't state this truth on the sites, and how dare you? You have no rights to do by law and under God, and all your previous workers there that went along with it in the FDA, Federal Drug Administration, federal government, drug, having to do approving certain medications if proper, according to health and safety regulations, bioethics laws, human rights laws, patient rights laws, freedom of choice, human given by God laws for religious and not, of all humans to respect, of all religions, of all nationalities, in all countries are affected. In America, the United States of America, not followed up by those in the American government. Recent times, President Biden, secretaries of state, those also, this FDA affects those in Canada, other countries. You make the millions and you studied no to respect human dignity and rights, and many, I just stated now, have by law each one, and myself included, and others, boyfriend, other ones, 10 years suffered loss because of CLOZAPINE and he didn't even need. While you make your $1 million, could have prevented this and have to act now. You have the contact information for the head resources online sites. Do your job. Every second counts. I am a humanitarian acting in the best interest of 100 million people that are currently, I've seen online, and victim of seen and videos that you didn't do your jobs to make sure there's no misinformation online. This is a serious matter in the entire world. Medically speaking, departments of psychiatry not doing their job in America, the United States of America, all of them, in Canada. President in America needs to look at secretaries of state, then the ones boards under them. There's medical boards, millions of them. Research boards, clinical scientist boards, ethics boards, bioethics that has to do with human, a live human with a brain, mind, organs, a life or soul, a human being to be respected. Boards that are trained, employed humans asked if you're gonna, by law under God, respect all those humans that look up to you in the whole country. Your decisions affect 100 million lives. Are you gonna work with FDA to make sure they make proper decisions about proper medications, safe for proper human health? Are you going to make sure you never make proper any wrong hazardous to human health antipsychotics? Are you going to make sure you're not going to promote any wrong and produce any harmful to brain and mental physical health brain procedures such as ECT and other ones? We cannot hire you if you are going to harm lives of millions of people. But they did. Were employed. My life and 100 million suffered. Have emotions crying still. A human in procedures doesn't even want to hear of and could have been avoided. Living through, and I didn't even need intelligent. Others don't know this and have a right to be informed. True information, not misinformation, because you're neglecting to do your jobs. Making millions in your meetings and going along with your lives and taking your money made that you legally didn't do to, you made to, and neglected a million lives and suffered and are morally responsible for, resulted in human being tortured, illegally harmed, freezing on the street with no funding after and dying out in ways you don't want to be disrespected, and your job was to prevent this from happening. And you made money to illegally harm me and 100 million people in Canada and the States alone, and in other countries. In the past, especially in 100 years. And other procedures, antipsychotics existed and research clearly shown. You could have avoided this. You have no right by God under law to harm another life. It was your job to prevent this, but you caused bodily harm. illegal torture to me. A woman had no children, driver's license wrongly taken away. Could have prevented clozapine on market, olanzapine, risperidone, paliperidone, loxapine, ECT. That's the main ones I even affect, and a woman can't even clearly be given in any way don't need. I even had a medical concern as stated that blood thinners that have resulted in bruises cannot be possibly given any of these antipsychotics or ECT to begin with, and there was harm given them. Illegally, I fought against. If you didn't produce them, I wouldn't be harmed. Others wouldn't went on vacation with their money, psychiatrists going along with these negligent ones. Pharmacists. A human being educated, but even telling other patients, telling the pharmacist this you care, the doctors give me the wrong one. Oh, I'm going along with the doctor. Clozapine, they told I don't need it, could easily follow, make a phone call, see, really assess this, she doesn't need it, clearly, and a woman, she's on blood thinners, doesn't need clozapine, is very dangerous to human, don't do anything because they're going along and can make pay, and working with clozapine. If the FDA do your job, if you did it, I wouldn't be harmed. Hire a child that cares, give them their money, they can use it to have a job for shelter and food and care and resolve this. Have the contact info, get rid of clozapine, they're sane, intelligent, care for humans as you were supposed to do, even though you studied over 4 years in some college or university and know inside out medical terminology and why clozapine couldn't be produced and forbidden to be given to humans, but you promoted this illegally, misinformed people, still misinformed online. You have no right to disrespect a live human. You don't want to be disrespected this way. Your health, you want proper medical advice, treatment, proper medical doctors of psychiatry assessing you when needed. You didn't follow up on this. You promoted harmful to human health. You know, clozapine, olanzapine, risperidone, paliperidone, you ECT, amongst others. These are the ones I'm affected, but there's a list of other antipsychotics, almost 100 of them online. All of them have misinformation on each site, not stating the severity of the side effects, what the human actually lived through, if they have a right to be informed. Iffy wordings for you to get rid of, FDA, all higher councils, medical boards, bioethics boards, other ones you know better than I do who deal with these, research boards, any journals illegally published in PubMed, medical psychiatric journals need to be misinformation removed immediately to prevent this misinformation untrue that is not deemed medically proven, scientifically proven information to be removed from the World Wide Web, from the internet, from all sites immediately about dangerous antipsychotics, all general iffy terms about them removed, stated that it even put disclaimers in first and people to be informed that these are misinformation or generalistic explanations. This is not a specific definition of an antipsychotic. This specific one with clozapine, I'm sorry. This is a real what the clozapine information is, what a chemical compound is, what exact part of the brain it's supposed to affect, actually supposed to do, what it's supposed to do, beneficial to health or not, to that part of the brain, possible negative side effects. This is not online. A human educated like myself have a hard time and took the time as victim and care enough to see, and but cannot, there's too many online for me one human to fix. Misinformation to remove, and I don't have all the resources. Would love to do, and I need other humans to help me. And those, especially in the offices of the FDA, have the contact resources. Those from the American, the president, whoever watches this video, humans, please help. file the complaints, put this one online, see my other victim of medical negligence and clozapine and ECT videos, how to respect the ones of human dignity and life of all job descriptions. These can be used by law under God to help victims and others to put this, to help get rid of this in the world, to prevent other humans' health from failing, children from being inadvertently harmed in womb, misinformed mothers, being safe instead of taking antipsychotics, it states on a well-known site, misinforming humans that it's safer to go through ECT than taking a certain antipsychotic. This is entirely untrue. This is misinformation of the worst kind. It's illegal. This is beyond wrong. To endanger a live woman with a baby with not born yet into the world, growing a new brain, new organs as a life, free will of choice, human rights to be respected. For this misinformation to exist on these main sites, Wikipedia, Microsoft Bing have other sites on it. The other ones are Google search engines, main websites. They're ones iffy information, not monitored by FDA, have to follow it up. If they're promoting clozapine, it is their job and have to keep monitoring online that there's no misinformation about any procedure, medical one that they deal with, that they authorized and can't have to follow up on it. Clozapine, dangerous antipsychotics, none of them beneficial that I know of to any human brain or mental physical health. None of them ever have to do with schizophrenia, general term. None of them help catatonic. None of them help depression, relieve it. None of them do anything to benefit a human health and life. They harm the brain in the long run and physical health, shorten life expectancy, make humans suffer, most put in words, cannot exercise, decrease quality of life, increase human cognitive thinking damage, cannot think, cannot function to do a job, cannot exercise, too weak, frequent blood testing for side effects, serious side effects, women too tired, past exhaustion to accomplish anything, mostly over sedating, accomplish nothing, sit in a room alone in ward or somewhere beyond poor, disability give them, as I stated, nothing, no, not enough money to get out with medical negligence lawyers, colleges of the surgeons, physicians, Ontario, other ones, nurses not doing their job, to even fund to get lawyers to in these matters of victims to help them to have money to win enough millions or money to that they rightly deserve and sue for emotional the damages and punitive damages that they rightly deserve. Humans essentially harmed these ways. For years I'm informing you what I lived through. You have to act now and resolve this. If you don't, you can't, by law under God. When you die, any humans morally made paycheck no not to. They can't make money for harming. They could have been employed someone who would have prevented clozapine and ECT and all dangerous antipsychotics, benzodiazepines from being on the market in the first place, and 100 million lives like mine wouldn't suffer and be on the street disabled and can't work, have children, and had no rights to harm our lives. And wouldn't have. And would have been me healthy and doing research and would have saved actually lives for 25 years, but couldn't. Separately because you or humans didn't respect all the laws. A human life mine as you knew how to do. Whoever employed the FDA workers, these other governing colleges bodies, do your job. Fire those immediately. Look into the past. Take back the paychecks. Give it to the victims. Needed, as stated, milliseconds and cold. Disabled because of them. Need money to live. Even basic shelters number thousands per month just for basic shelter. Not even given by disability in Ontario, well-known Canada. Lawyers can afford, and a human can be forced to live on street because they were negligent. The FDA, the doctors made millions and get away walking, giving their money to their families and then live a happy life while harming me and other million people, promoting CLOZAPINE. I didn't even need, endanger my life more. And I have no children. They're all happy with the children. FDA working, going home to their families with their paycheck, that they harm lives and going to the children. How is this morally right? It is never morally right. It is ethically wrong. These humans have serious criminal charges for 100 million seconds and needlessly wrong my life and knew not to do and made money for it in their paycheck. And are responsible if they die, it is true, going to live through what I lived through, they knew not to harm me and resulted in. And then they learn. ECT going through illegally promoted could have prevented it from being in the world. Clozapine, olanzapine, risperidone, loxapine, other different things, other humans are morally responsible for the suffering, health failing, brain, mental, physical health failing of humans. Even humans, pregnant women, misinformed, can't remember, are definitely not gonna go through ECT and be brain memory damage, risk electrocute an unborn baby, then wake up memory damage, can't remember that they have a baby, what their name is. Because the FDA didn't do their job. Humans that are trained to prevent this from happening. American President Biden seems to be a clean-minded individual, so please, White House, whoever has contact information, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau in Canada, most well-known in the world, seem to be kind-hearted humans. If you have the contact resources, someone get it to them, have emails there on these main sites, put this video link, share it to them, million people, victims of all clozapine, ECT, any other antipsychotics a victim of truly knows medically based back that is harmful to clearly human health. It was never beneficial, even victim. Humans have rights. Victims couldn't be wrong. Rights to have money, need to push to help get disability for these from those level the from the government the proper say province funding for this, for lawyers to invest to change the laws, patient rights laws, these people that deal with the patient rights advocates. There are certain laws that have to be changed there. People wrongly admitted and have to get a force to, and poor can't afford a lawyer. When assessed, have to be are kept there, medically or physically assessed for 3 days and nights in a place, could have been let go, assessed properly right away. Even the patient rights advisor can't get them out for 3 days. This is not allowable, and human left there with no food and water in these facilities and wrongly potentially misdiagnosed by these medically negligent staff, which happen to humans. Not allowable, and FDA has to fix this. Look into another medical staff boards. I'm only one human. If I had the resource, call me, I would call them, but I don't have the contact information. I put best I could what happened to me and others seen online, took the time with the FDA and states and their different secretary of state under them. They know president, prime ministers, what to look, which boards, medical boards, councils, they study, know these things to refer humans to file complaints to look out themselves, to look online, take the few seconds, clean up misinformation. Even I stated, whoever has access to the World Wide Web main sites, medical main sites, they're responsible. And find someone who knows how this works. I don't exactly. All I know is as normal humans to a certain file complaint departments or report on certain sites to file complaints and about certain misinformation to be removed. That's all I know. And to contact maybe certain board emails that I can only find online. The rest have to be done with higher level staff. That is what is well known. Pharmaceutical companies, whoever's dealing with them, producing these clozapine, promoting ECT, all the other illegal antipsychotics, the ones I wasn't affected by, but clearly can have to be looked into, easily found by any normal one hired police president, Biden, any undersecretary caring of state, those departments, medical boards, someone in a university that has a medical degree knows, doctors. Take the few seconds, look at online. You know better than I do. You know clearly that it's not beneficial to brain physical health. Look on the FDA site, see what is not allowed, stop this production, tell them it's put more restrictions, ban entirely all useless, harmful to brain physical health that they're promoting and selling. Because use that money to sell nutritious food and help the victims, have to rectify it, wean people off clozapine they don't need, give them an exercise facility, fund this, have to do. These people suffer like myself 20 years, some 10 years, some even before me. They are still there almost 25 years. That's 100 millisecond with not enough food, given clozapine, olanzapine, risperidone, injected when shaking muscles into the abdomen. Men recovering drug addict kind of humans need health to be assessed properly and cared, restored health, not harm more when over sedated, electrocuted brain alive after fasting, dehydrated. No one can be fasted and dehydrated and electrocute alive brain and body. That's what ECT is. Change the name. Electroconvulsive torture, at least people not misinformed that way. Act immediately. Get rid of these. There are people acting online. Is your job. And FDA, please. I turn to the world leaders in this. At least I've seen online, Twitter, you have a heart. This Biden, this Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, at least the emails their departments reply to direct me to certain causes to the proper departments in the state or the in Canada provinces. So you have a heart, whoever sees this, direct this to them to get the contact info to deal with these. They have resources to the head pharmaceutical companies in any country, depending where they are, most well hidden. It's almost impossible for an educated human such as myself, and would love to resolve and deal with these humans and a victim. I have 4 years Bachelor of Science in Life Science and Christian Studies, well rounded in all fields, medical, what doctors know. Can't even find and know this contact information for a clozapine. The company are well hidden. There's no actual easy to find emails, phone numbers. Even the ones a phone number found, as you know, are dead ends. They won't answer the phone, are not even real phone numbers. Human has to actually find these companies, Clozapine, Clozaril, Abilify, these ones, and go to their physically to their offices and deal with them and push issues, even have maybe lawyer present to accomplish almost anything with them to get resolve any concerns a victim had. And most humans are poor. I can't even find well-educated tribe. Would talk to them and put file complaints more, but there are no even real complaint departments for these. This is not allowable. Humans have rights, many rights by law, freedom of choice to be respected, dignity of God, a valuable life, patient rights. There are bioethics laws to respect about human life and health to be respected. Many rights disrespected mine. And these humans can't even be found there to listen to this, to hear these victims of clozapine, the companies. So whoever has a heart and knows to do their job have to, by law under God. Presidents, whoever can watch this video, direct to them to even direct to the proper boards. Then can file the complaints. Help FDA put million complaints on victims. If humans act now, please do. Resolve this will be resolved after rather 100 years. Help those poor people in these wards there. Don't have to be there. Toronto, for example, and CAMH previous. Help summon these people. Fire rather all these people negligent working there. Tear it down, but as a new building, turn it into a nutrition-rich facility. Respect the victims that the CLOZAPINE companies and FDA had no right to disrespect. And no, you have to morally give back your paycheck, turn it into the victims. Look into who worked in previous years, even 20 years, as long as records needed. These people still harmed there, have a right, a life to be respected, warned by you. FDA, other medical boards, pharmaceutical companies, by law under God, you have to morally rectify this with these victims, humans, have a right to have a formal apology, ask their forgiveness and mean it, resolve it with them on earth best you can. You are judged by God. Jesus, no one has the right to morally do wrong. Everyone is judged all their life. And the Holy Spirit, as human, a soul, physically belong to God, are assessed by the heavens, religious or not, in their job description. And if they morally do wrong, cannot against another human life they were intent paycheck to make to help. Have to rectify with the victims they wronged. Wrongly promoted CLOZAPINE, didn't state enough restrictions, didn't follow up to make sure it was not promoted, given by prescribed by rather harmful, disrespectful rather psychiatrists, negligent staff, doctors, the board members, CAMH, all 100 of them have to be fired. Paychecks turned in. Help these victims recover, give them housing. They're walking on the streets begging for food with the clothing on the back. Cold, no one to donate. Social workers to actually hire nutrition staff. They want few care, but not hard enough. We'll give these people care and food and to find nice clothing, donate gifts to them, but not enough hired of those. Except hire those negligent staff. Made the billions with the Lincoln navigators driving through human patients crying while they're freezing with no food and disability none and no medical negligence lawyers to sue and put them in prison. No funding for anything to care respect for life. And FDA could have prevented this. And all other colleges making the millions didn't even respect my life to phone back. When I stated this, they owe me money. When I can't afford a lawyer, a victim, and ODSP to help me, not even send a link for housing or anything. And poor victim wronged for a year and a half. Following up to push what I don't remind it of for them to fire these medically negligent staff. To investigate. A year and a half. The million second they be in prison already. By law under God. Investigated right away, respect my human life and help me. And they made their paycheck can't by law. And millions suffering this way because of it as well. Of humans like this, they actually swore oath to God to make sure hire proper doctors, follow up psychiatrists, make sure they are not promoting CLOZAPINE, olanzapine, especially not illegally against freedom of choice. Other dangerous antipsychotics and benzodiazepines, ECT. They didn't do their job, making their millions go happy to their family while I have acquiring no children harmed, and won't even find a link for housing when needed, and respect me say apologize crying. Still only send me a link saying we're finished the investigation. You have to wait 8 to 10 weeks till we send you the results. That's it. That's it. Paperwork. And that's it, and making money and not respecting human life and health, but they're trained to do. And millions suffer like myself. Don't deserve. And next seconds I'm on the street. Still no money to live. No food. Frozen snow. Frostbite. A disabled brain damaged human. No money for shelter. Even basic ultra cold, but $100 cost out of the winds. Disabled doesn't deserve. because they made CLOZAPINE, ACT. None of the medical ones that made millions did their job. They misinform everyone online. Even have their names there, putting smiling and different FDA and others, humans smiling, CAMH workers, medical staff, negligent ones that they're doing great work in the countries, in the community, misinforming people. This is not great work. These illegal tortures, they are. Bodily harm against freedom of choice is illegal torture and the whole world knows, never allowed by law under God. This is a holy Lenten season too, and all years to be respected at all times. Respect of Jesus. Everyone, religious or not, knows no one does morally wrong. They are judged in their soul actions, and respect of Jesus even more cannot morally do wrong in their job and make pay, and against another human life definitely can't. To misinform pregnant women online and not do their job to follow up, to not misinform them, to make sure there's proper, credible, true, scientific based information online only, which exists to actually put it there, is not online. Only iffy words rather. Doesn't, as I stated earlier, to weasel the way out of it. Misinforming real life humans can't, which affect their brain, potential physical health of babies, not even born in womb, are worth respecting that to even make sure it's not online. Whoever typed this, I don't know, is obviously not on the right side, morally right. And for Bing, Microsoft not looking in and other sites, they have to do job, whoever can, knows how this works. With these contact numbers have to these main sites to say to scan for medical sites for misinformation, to hire a doctor a few seconds and look into the few sites and go take one day, few hours it takes. Any medical doctor, educator, or specialist can look on this FDA site or some few sites and already fresh in their memory knows which antipsychotics are proper, which general terms, which is misinformation to be taken offline and fix it, report it, get rid of it. Takes a few seconds, minutes to hours, day at time, tackle it. One human, get another one, and remove it from online. And million people, keep in mind, will not see it. Any misinformation, people will be healthier, safer, 100 million. This is supposed to be done for years. No one did anything. Some people care, put a doctor, put a new research they did and put inform humans, but other sites are still below them. Misinformation still there below it, not removed. People look on it and look through different ones, might be misinformed, that are not educated, might click on one, search for something, and the other one, the not most recent one, appear. No one's doing almost anything online to follow up, to remove any old, outdated, even medical terminology, anything that's harmful to human health. These are people making millions, not employed the right ones that were supposed to, and making money for the wrong reasons, and not hiring even people in this COVID time that need money to survive, to hire someone, give a paycheck that will care, do their job, and respect, work with others, humans and animals too in this situation. There are medical boards, animals have a brain life to respect it, health negatively affected by those in the FDA or other drug administrations that deal with medications for animals. To someone, please help with this, to look into it. There are different species of animals with children. These have lives, take care of their infants. Cannot be prescribed any dangers if there are any antipsychotics that exist. Will harm their brain health, might affect the children that they have, when if they're breastfeeding, after to be absorbed would be these chemicals into their bloodstream to the milk. Then the little infant animals will suffer brain damage, cannot seek medical advice. They don't have the intellectual reasoning ability for it. To keep in mind, someone please help with this. To look up these matters. I'm only one human, but I've seen in the world, so I'm telling everyone the truth. And direct this at the FDA and the world leaders and their departments that they know. Use their kind hearts and respect human dignity and life as they want to be respected. Rectify with the victims what they know right to wrong and harm my life and others. Put funding where it is needed to be rectified. Even turn your paychecks in FDA and other boards. You couldn't make to right the wrongs with the victims of now are disabled and have to live and can't million seconds in cold, brain damage, memory, not a second, million seconds, cannot work, would love to work, but wrong illegally most, CLOZAPINE, fix this all in the world, get rid of the schizophrenia general terms, put this online that these are general terms even. People have a right to be informed. Mania, schizoaffective disorder, these are general fake terms in essence. Have no is not a specific mental health disorder, doesn't affect a specific part of the brain, doesn't have a specific symptom affecting the brain or physicality. So it is not a real mental health disorder. Is even it'd be safer for the brain, physical, mental well-being of every human to get rid of the term schizophrenia because no one can even spell it. And it will strain a lot less 100 million people brain minds who can't even learn to spell this word, and it has no any benefit anyway because it's not even technically a real word. It doesn't have a specific definition even. Same with psychosis, mania, and other ones. People wrongly even put in mental wards because of these terms that don't even have anything to do with what the human is admitted supposed to be assessed properly medically or mentally for. I speak true information, so please use this information and act now. FDA, please contact other ones, the other drug administrations in Canada, states, if there are other countries. It is your job. You have the contact resources, you have the budgets. Investigate, please, you have to do. Go there yourself, but it's COVID, be careful. Or find humans that work there, call by phone. There's modern day. You can clearly see humans, the doctors, staff working there. If they look you in the eye and if they don't, you clearly know the difference if they are competent medical psychiatrists or not. Easy to tell. Remove misinformation online. Act now. There's many sites on the Bing videos some people made are acting. I'm informing you. True on ECT, misinforming people. They have no right to do and are doctors stated or acting as doctors. Have a shown procedure about what it is, but some of them are misinforming people, saying generally what ECT might be affecting this part of the brain. That's not allowable. It doesn't specifically say that what it does to the brain, to physical health, what a human goes through before it, emotionally. A human fears for their life before going through any ECT. Even a human, me knowledgeable what medical devices are for. Hear beeping medical sounds in the room. There's how apparatuses human is essentially somewhat attached to, have devices too. Heart monitors, this breathing mask. This is not a procedure any human alive wants to live through. There are 10 medical staff that work in each procedure of all different medical fields that wrongly go along still in world that need to be got rid of and fired. Harmed many lives and even misinformed humans so they have inanimate paychecks, cannot buy launder God. So humans have right patients to turn them in to the proper colleges, to fire them. Help yourself, prevent others from being wronged by these humans. Children, electrocuted brains, dehydrated, can't remember anything, then have to go in a week or two to the next ECT treatment. They even term it treatment, which is not treatment. It doesn't treat, benefit the human brain, physical health in any way. It is illegal torture. Old people was there, I've seen. 100 almost years old lady waiting outside in the cold with a severe brain memory damage because of the last treatment. And there almost every time I was there and a little child, a few children. Some other people waiting in the morning early, first come, first serve to get it over or done so they don't wait hours in the waiting room. And then knocked out people going one after another, knocked unconscious with the fasting for 8 hours and the brain both side electrocute alive in body. Fear for the life and have nothing to do, can't have a job after, memory damaged. Other humans see this crying have to have a caregiver to drive them somewhere or help them to get home. Then they're recovering for life if they even do. Their memory is severely damaged. Can't remember what they learned previous in history, recent or memories. Can't remember the friends' names, family, children ever. Some of them for life. Seizure in the brain have. Induced. Starving have to recover after fasting hours, dehydrated, the body, brain electrocuted, muscles, human is ill, almost throwing up because they're starving when wake up from the procedure. Then the general anesthesia wears off. Wake up in a different room, not respectful humans to even put them to wake up in the same room so they know where they are when the memory's damaged. All I say is illegally given to humans. They know is not allowed, and most misinformed, so is illegal that way. Cannot human life be disrespected this way? FDA, all those who make the ECT, clean up your act, respect your own dignity and souls, save them on this earth. Your job description was to prevent my life from suffering in 100 million people by making sure that ECT never went on the market per se, these words, even better terms, to never promote ECT, to make sure all misinformation online was never put online, to make sure it's removed. It is your job now, always was. You have to act now, act in the best interest of humanity, humans with lives, respect their whatever left of the humans that are victims for funding in it, do something morally to rectify it, save your souls in essence on earth. Under God, you don't get away with it by law. Humans, if were being informed, would have, and more educated, would have pushed more issues, filed more complaints over years, but don't know these are not educated, can't afford medical negligence lawyers. Most humans working got away, still making paychecks and humans suffering. So stop making the clozapine. Make sure humans are weaned off, though, informed, and step it up to do your job. Contact CAMH, Toronto, Ontario, Canada. The address is on one of them. There's a various ones, but there's 1025 Queen Street West in downtown Toronto, Ontario. They have other addresses there. There are many units. There are many people, hundreds there suffering, don't have to be. Most in mental health ward. Some have been there, as I stated, over 25 years, saved their lives after you left them suffering. Put a more nutrition staff hard, those ones that care and those ones that do. Help them to respect them and the patients, what the doctors are supposed to do, and force to give them more nutritious food. Fund every possible nutritious food item that you possibly can. And wean them off, stop making clozapine and use that money to give them food and nutrients that they rightly deserved in the beginning, and didn't even have to lessen the side effects and to respect a human to live have enough food while in those places and living in the community while given clozapine. 100 million meals they didn't have, even as a human to live, in even the facilities while illegally given clozapine. Needed a serious nutritious diet as you know, and supplements as needed, vitamins not prescribed, to lessen side effects. Had human rights and still do, were neglected by those at FDA, those that push market CLOZAPINE, ABILITES, risperidone, polyperidone, loxapine, ECT. 100 million suffered in the wards and had to go to places in community would love to live. Housing didn't have. Barely maybe after 10 years one human gets housing in a simple basic room there and has no disability money to live and have to go to dollar store and maybe buy one food chip bag over the month years would right to have nutritious food and right to an oil clozapine to lessen side effects. But didn't have because of you humans didn't do their job and can make paycheck for and all previous employed in especially past 100 years to look up in the past 20 years, 5 years alone. That I know of in Toronto, Canada, hundreds of lives harmed illegally and have had bright futures for 25 years, could have used their studies like me, had children healthy, and most illegally misdiagnosed with a fake word and given clozapine. Over sedated, too much given to sleep, knocked out unconscious almost, and then left suffering with side effect drooling, with no nutritious food at all and none even to survive. And no jobs, no money, no money for disability enough, and not even to save, put funding for to retire, to have a place to live if needed, and to live through those years. Humans, not all in wards, have no place to live on the street, unclozapine brain memory damage impaired, cognitive ability impaired, getting diabetes with white blood cell to low count, have immune system suffering, not have any don't have any money for supplements. They need to really have nutritious food to lessen side effects and to survive on it. Have driver's license taken away, couldn't have children crying, suffering, have a soul emotions, homeless, freezing in cold winds after day and night in Canada alone, Ontario, Toronto, Austin, Canada cold everywhere. In America, essentially, in most of the other countries, humans freezing disabled because clozapine was on market. Staff promoted it. Pharmacist needs to be rectified. This had to be done for years, and money has to be returned. Paychecks of those legally promoted these cannot make their pay. Hire someone who cares immediately, will put their money and use that previous person's money, that wrong humans taken away pay by law under God, turn into the victims, help wean them off slowly, proper staff, fire the wrong ones, take their $1 million paycheck, give it to some proper doctor, nutritionist to help them wean them off, put them into society, proper housing, fund it, give them all the budgets they have, the billions of dollars, they can't say they don't. Rectify with these are humans with a valuable life, a brain soul who had no right to these FDA and other pharmaceutical companies and world leaders to neglect this and not do their job entirely, to look into this and to make sure they had proper medical psychiatry staff but didn't. By law under God, do your job, save your souls in essence. You don't want to go to hell after and live through ECT, so you better do your job. You don't want to go to hell after neglecting other humans' life. You caused torture to me for 20 years, then is your punishment. You knew not to do, and you will live through in hell. You knew not to. Everyone is judged on the earth. You made money for something. You could have hired someone, FDA and other world leaders and or the different boards to follow up proper medical staff, psychiatrists, the pharmaceutical companies, whoever making clozapine, Abilify, especially olanzapine, risperidone, polyperidone, ECT. There's other ones, brain stimulation departments. These are a human can easily medically basic trained, even medical students well known could easily react against this. Everyone in the world, FDA, No, these are not beneficial to a human brain or life in any way, but being practiced. Not enough restrictions, not banned entirely from world by FDA in first place. Easily had to be done. Never promoted, never allowed to be practiced in or on the earth, in the world. So get rid of it. Go there and you live through it and see if it's beneficial to health. It's not. Treat others as you want to be respected and right to be your health, to be assessed by proper staff. Don't promote something FDA that the other staff have a potentially been negligent to give to human to prescribe wrongly and cause human bodily harm. Of a brain, of a physicality, of an unborn fetus. They have no right to do no and make money have. You started this. All the humans that created this, CLOZAPINE, pharmaceutical company, humans, ABILITES, there's 100 other antipsychotics. There are chemicals essentially made in lab, don't benefit the brain, physical health, cause more harm, not being monitored, not being assessed properly, informed, given information to patients or given to humans are left and a doctor write prescription informing you through what happens once every 2 weeks or month and leave and say I'm coming, I'll see you in a month or two, in 2 weeks rather, and I'll give you your next prescription and leave and go on vacation with their money. Humans suffering for 2 weeks can't even find right to find out informed say look don't need this now, I have rights, I need to lower this, not even informed. Suffering there while these humans partying, using their money, will buy luxury heated seat vehicles, and a human left on the street freezing with no food. Even disability after two victims not done in Ontario, Canada and states, other places, lands of opportunity. This is a land of disrespect of human life. It's not a land of opportunity. A human has studied for years and left with an even not respected human life to resolve this to have a medical lawyer too soon for enough money to live that I rightly deserve out of the cold in Canada. Colleges, not even online resources enough to phone the FDA itself to hear what a victim lived through they could have prevented. And I have to right to speak to a human there, live human on the phone right away, so they hear my stories, hear them crying, say, I'm sorry, we gotta find a way to rectify it. There's none available. Some maybe have emails, if that's even reachable. Pharmaceutical companies almost impossible, hidden, making the $1 billion, harming lives. To be the victims have to. World leaders, please help. You seem to be intelligent and have the heart. In the White House, President Biden, Secretaries of State, respect human life dignity. Please help those looking into the FDA. Humans seeing this video, contact them. Follow up, please, immediately. This had to be resolved for years. Please care for this video. Share it to whoever needs it. It is true information, credible. I studied at University of Toronto after even studied in Cole, went to barely had money to work Ontario and the rights, but were disrespected unfortunately and was harmed. And this needs to be prevented. I'm acting in the best interest of humans, children, adults, of all humanity as a humanitarian or human real earth angel. Out of the respect of all as stated, health to prevent it from failing, suffering, anything that I was victim and seen in the world, and informing others to act. Please help. To those who have contact numbers, resolve this immediately. Fire those who didn't do their job. Give the pay to those who will and will help 100 million people right away and clean up any misinformation and remove it from the internet that I stated in this video, true credible information. My name is spelled ANGELIKA. My last name is spelled JAKIELA. My email is a.jakiela@hotmail.com. Please contact me and any contact information to FDA or pharmaceutical companies, anyone else who can help me, and please contact them yourself. Please help resolve this. Any victims too. The more complaints everyone will file, true stories, and every detailed wording I spoke, please listen to it and help resolve this in the world. 100 million lives will not suffer if this is resolved even now, immediately. Please subscribe to my Angelica Gicella Earth Angel YouTube channel, and please see the other recent videos as stated for true stories of my human victim negligence stories, other more detailed information about which terms to remove from the world, which antipsychotics are harmful to be removed from the world. And please use this information to inform others. Be a human being, Earth Angel. Act as a humanitarian yourself. A selfless act of mercy, of kindness and compassion from within the kindness and compassion of your heart and soul. Of spreading this information, acting, removing misinformation, whoever can, as humans too, online, educated, will prevent the health failing of babies, even unborn in womb, mothers, fathers, humans, children. All life, remember, affects another life. Stop those humans' poor suffering in CAMH war. Don't have to be in millions and other in the world. From ECT going through no one needs, dangerous antipsychotics no one needs. Help turn those funding, whoever can, has the resources to a nutrition, a fitness facility to help rehabilitate these victims. Money put into disability housing to help these victims would take away the paycheck of humans in past years that wrongly affected their lives, and FDA workers and pharmaceutical companies shut them down entirely, create a new facility of close FDA entirely. Make a one caring doctor to invest that cares. Look into which medicine is easily can tell it's work with a pharmacist that is easily takes few second hours. Tackle one after another rather. See what is useful to human proper health, which is not. Get rid of them. Put the proper few information, main ones online, each medical information. How this will be resolved in even matter of hours. The days, the more a few days tackle these ones. Put a main site of information, make one online. True would help million people will view right away, find what they need. One true, nice, informative, credible medical resource for all medications which are approved for proper health, which are not. Why not? Humans have right to know if it's safe for mother to use with an infant in womb, which ones are illegal, which ones were deemed not allowed, get rid of ECT, which terms are no longer used, and you will save the health and lives of millions. There are a million people have some have nothing to do and are educated. You can give them a paycheck and the million fire the whole FDA and make a one website and hire one medical staff to take the care of this. Will take a matter of few hours a day to a few days at most, and will save the whole world. Translated to every language, people accessible, report to the World Health Organization, the world, and will view these and everyone have a nice database to refer to anywhere in the world. One nice, informative, true information, credible, scientific base backed, updated, monitored by hire one doctor, someone specialist knowing about this medical terminology, pharmacist to help them, up-to-date researcher in the world to see what research going on, to see what to update it as needed, and this is better than the FDA. What it did for years. This is not allowable what they are doing. They don't have a respect for all human life and health and have to do affected 100 million people. Left the brain damaged, disabled, and made pay cannot. Disrespect choice, human dignity, life this way. Humans with emotion, soul, and they don't want to be disrespected this way. and to think of it that way, to fire them. Whoever can, immediately make sites as I stated. Please, President Biden, you have a heart. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, other world leaders, I'm not sure of all their names, but intelligent, have families, know to respect human life dignity. What I'm speaking is true. Had to be done for years, hasn't. Find the proper departments, medical boards, clean them up, research head boards, bioethics boards as well, FDA, other drug administrations in Canada, states, other countries, Australia. Get rid of all ECT clinics, all workers. Go hire investigators, security personnel hired in hospitals to actually do job medically oriented to follow up, see if doctors are listening in the rooms, if are assessing patients properly. If not, have a security walk there and escort them out. Question them, you're not doing your job. This is what had to be done. There's no humans hired like this. Investigating any following up on medically negligent staff. Nurses not doing their job entirely. Waiting time is too low, too high. I mean, saving pennies, bodies. This is staff making millions while people suffering. This is not what their jobs are. Cannot by law under God make their pay. And illegally prescribed dangerous antipsychotic ECT clearly no one needs, especially if they have a brain health physical concern and misdiagnosed with a general term schizophrenia and given CLOZAPINE. ECT doesn't help anyone that's catatonic. These main things by stated human is might have dopamine imbalance. There's no human that needs any antipsychotics dangerous to help with dopamine imbalance. Dopamine imbalance cannot even be medically proven by any medical technique known in the world right now in a human being directly. Dopamine imbalance would be a human have to deal with naturally to rest, go in the sun, exercise, and eat nutritious food. And the body itself balances out any dopamine imbalance. Clozapine, ECT, everything else doesn't help the brain or dopamine levels ever. It harms the human more, as every medically competent doctor, FDA board, medical board, bioethics boards know, but didn't do their job to care, respect human health, life, patient rights, dignity, choice of children, unborn babies, humans as they had to, made money, can't, have to turn it in, hire competent, medically competent rather staff, psychiatrists assess all of them, make a different field of medical, maybe a nutritionist hired, and get rid of the term psychiatrist entirely. The ones that care, psychiatrists, still put it as a doctor of assess proper brain, a counselor of proper medical brain physical health to promote proper nutrition care of a human being, promote it to assess human brain mental physical health properly that way. Psychiatrists haven't been doing their job in this field for years and millions suffered, and going along with FDA not approved properly. I deem illegal antipsychotics that have to be illegal. Clearly everyone knows, medically competent doctors. All antipsychotics I stated illegal. Deem illegal immediately, banned from the world production, wean off the humans still first, produce enough so they slowly weaned off of it safely. Get rid of from producing to given to any other future patients that don't need it. Put this in effect right now, mandated whoever deals with it, FDA, these medical boards, Medical Council of Canada if it does. Other staff help, see this video, share it to other medical staff, figure out what can be done immediately. Contact world leaders, they know which departments can work with FDA contact numbers. I don't have the resources, would love to do. Email me, I'll try to contact them if I can. Please prevent the health failing of any more people, humans, children, unborn fetuses. Have a life to be respected, brains, nice hearts, souls, emotions, humans have all affect the lives of other humans, animals, and nature, so please do your part. And FDA, please clean up your act and respect human life, health, and dignity rights, free will of choice, in all humans as you want to be respected. And do your job. And if not, turn your paycheck in and others previous to you and help the victims and hire someone who will clean up the whole FDA and other medical boards, other drug administrations, pharmaceutical companies, creators of what I deem to be true, illegal antipsychotics, harmful to human brain and physical health, never beneficial, especially in the long run, increased mortality rate, against human freedom of choice is illegal torture, never allowed. No one has the right to bodily harm caused to another human brain, mind, an infant in the womb, a child, and adults to decrease their quality of life by promoting a harmful, they know, illegal substance such as antipsychotics, benzodiazepines that have no benefit to human health, are not treatment, are illegal drugs, chemicals, not allowed to be put on the market and promoted, sold ever again. Out of respect of human health, life, dignity, human rights, free will of choice, respect of a human life being with a brain, emotions, soul, physicality, that is a right to be respected in all ways as you want to be respected.